Question 1. What is the role of the Secretary of State for Defense? A. To manage the country's education system. B. To oversee the country's defense and armed forces. C. To regulate financial institutions. D. To promote healthcare policies. Answer. B. To oversee the country's defense and armed forces. The Secretary of State for Defense is responsible for all matters concerning national defense and the British Armed Forces. Question 2. Name the document that limits the powers of the King or Queen and establishes the rights of Parliament. A. The Magna Carta. B. The Bill of Rights. C. The Charter of the Forest. D. The Act of Settlement. Answer. B. The Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights 1689 limits the powers of the monarchy and sets out the rights of Parliament, establishing rules for the freedom of speech in Parliament and the requirement for regular elections. Question 3. Who was the Prime Minister of the UK during the signing of the Maastricht Treaty? A. Margaret Thatcher. B. Tony Blair. C. John Major. D. Gordon Brown. Answer. C. John Major. John Major was the Prime Minister of the UK during the signing of the Maastricht Treaty in 1992, which led to the creation of the European Union. Question 4. What are the main responsibilities of the local councils in the UK? A. National defence. B. Immigration enforcement. C. Education, housing and local transportation. D. Foreign diplomacy. Answer. C. Education, housing and local transportation. Local councils in the UK are primarily responsible for services such as education, housing and local transportation. Question 5. Which act legalised same-sex marriage in England and Wales? A. Civil Partnership Act 2004. B. Marriage Act 1949. C. Marriage, Same-Sex Couples, Act 2013. D. Equality Act 2010. Answer. C. Marriage, Same-Sex Couples, Act 2013. The Marriage, Same-Sex Couples, Act 2013 legalised same-sex marriage in England and Wales. Question 6. What is the significance of the Battle of Waterloo in British history? A. It marked the beginning of the British Empire. B. It was a defeat that led to the fall of the British monarchy. C. It was a victory that ended Napoleon's rule. D. It initiated the Industrial Revolution. Answer. C. It was a victory that ended Napoleon's rule. The Battle of Waterloo in 1815 was significant as it marked a decisive victory for the British-led Allied forces against Napoleon, ending his rule and the Napoleonic Wars. Question 7. Name the king who commissioned the King James Bible. A. King Henry VIII. B. King James I. C. King Edward VI. D. King Charles I. Answer. B. King James I. King James I of England commissioned the translation of the Bible into English, which was completed in 1611 and is known as the King James Bible. Question 8. What is the primary role of the Speaker in the House of Commons? A. To represent the ruling party. B. To vote on legislation. C. To maintain order during debates. D. To appoint government officials. Answer. C. To maintain order during debates. The primary role of the Speaker in the House of Commons is to maintain order during debates and ensure that parliamentary rules are followed. Question 9. Who was the British monarch during the American Revolutionary War? A. King George III. B. Queen Victoria. C. King Henry VII. D. King Edward III. Answer: A. King George III. King George III was the British monarch during the American Revolutionary War, which lasted from 1775 to 1783. Question 10. What year did the UK vote to leave the European Union? A. 2010. B. 2016. C. 2012. D. 2008. Answer: B. 2016. The UK voted to leave the European Union in a referendum held in 2016. Question 11. Name the law that introduced the minimum wage in the UK. A. The Employment Rights Act 1996. B. The National Minimum Wage Act 1998. C. The Work and Families Act 2006. D. The Equality Act 2010. Answer: B. The National Minimum Wage Act 1998. The National Minimum Wage Act 1998 introduced a minimum wage across the UK, ensuring workers receive a minimum pay per hour. Question 12. What historical event is Guy Fawkes' Night associated with? A. The signing of the Magna Carta. B. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. C. The Battle of Hastings. D. The coronation of Queen Edward III Elizabeth II. Answer: B. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. Guy Fawkes' Night is associated with the Gunpowder Plot of 1605, where Guy Fawkes and other conspirators attempted to blow up the Houses of Parliament. Question 13. Which treaty marked the beginning of the British Empire's expansion into India? A. Treaty of Paris. B. Treaty of Westphalia. C. Treaty of Utrecht. D. Treaty of Allahabad. Answer: D. Treaty of Allahabad. The Treaty of Allahabad in 1765 marked the beginning of the formal expansion of the British Empire into India, following the Battle of Buxar. Question 14. Who was the first British astronaut to visit the International Space Station? A. Helen Sharman. B. Tim Peake. C. Michael Foale. D. Piers Sellers. Answer: B. Tim Peake. Tim Peake was the first British astronaut to visit the International Space Station in 2015. Question 15. What does the Magna Carta represent in the development of British democracy? A. The establishment of the Church of England. B. The foundation of legislative government. C. The introduction of jury trials. D. The principle of rule of law and limited government. Answer: D. The principle of rule of law and limited government. The Magna Carta, signed in 1215, represents a foundational moment in the development of British democracy by establishing the principle of rule of law and the limits of royal authority. Question 16. What event led to the imposition of the poll tax in the late 1980s? A. Economic recession. B. Local government reform. C. Military expenditures. D. Educational reforms. Answer: B. Local government reform. The imposition of the poll tax in the late 1980s was a result of local government reform initiatives aimed at changing the funding mechanism for local authorities in the UK. Question 17. Who are the Picts? A. A political party in the 19th century. B. A Celtic tribe in ancient Britain. C. A religious group in the Middle Ages. D. A family dynasty during the Tudor period. Answer: B. A Celtic tribe in ancient Britain. The Picts were a group of Celtic-speaking people who lived in what is now Scotland during the Late Iron Age and early medieval periods. Question 18. What was the primary goal of the Human Rights Act 1998? A. To establish economic freedoms. B. To codify the UK's commitment to the European Convention on Human Rights. C. To create a new constitution. D. To reform the education system. Answer. B. To codify the UK's commitment to the European Convention on Human Rights. The Human Rights Act 1998 was enacted to incorporate the rights set out in the European Convention on Human Rights into UK law. Question 19. Name the movement that led to the development of parliamentary democracy in the UK. A. The Glorious Revolution. B. The Industrial Revolution. C. The Restoration. D. The Enlightenment. Answer. A. The Glorious Revolution. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 led to significant constitutional changes and the development of parliamentary democracy in the UK. Question 20. What was the purpose of the Elizabethan Poor Law? A. To establish public education. B. To provide military funding. C. To regulate religious practices. D. To provide relief for the poor. Answer. T. To provide relief for the poor. The Elizabethan Poor Law of 1601 was designed to provide relief to the poor and is considered one of the earliest forms of social welfare legislation in England. Question 21. Which British scientist discovered the electron? A. Isaac Newton. B. Charles Darwin. C. J. Thomson. D. Stephen Hawking. Answer. C. J. Thomson. J. Thomson discovered the electron in 1897, which was a significant development in the field of atomic physics. Question 22. What was the Great Exhibition of 1851 known for? A. Showcasing modern industrial technology and design. B. Celebrating the end of the Napoleonic Wars. C. Introducing the decimal system. D. Launching the first public railway. Answer. A. Showcasing modern industrial technology and design. The Great Exhibition of 1851 was known for showcasing modern industrial technology and design from around the world, held in the Crystal Palace in London. Question 23. Who was the longest reigning monarch before Queen Edward III of Elizabeth II? A. Queen Victoria. B. King George III. C. Queen Anne. D. King Henry VIII. Answer. A. Queen Victoria. Before Queen Edward III or Elizabeth II, Queen Victoria was the longest reigning monarch, serving from 1837 to 1901. Question 24. Which war was triggered by the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand? A. World War I. B. World War II. C. The Crimean War. D. The Boer War. Answer. A. World War I. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in 1914 is widely recognized as the triggering event that led to the outbreak of World War I. Question 25. What is the significance of the Commonwealth Games? A. They determine the political leadership of the Commonwealth. B. They are a display of military power among Commonwealth countries. C. They promote mutual understanding and sporting competition among Commonwealth nations. D. They celebrate the independence of Commonwealth countries. Answer. C. They promote mutual understanding and sporting competition among Commonwealth nations. The Commonwealth Games are an international multi-sport event involving athletes from the Commonwealth of Nations, designed to promote mutual understanding and competition. Question 26. Who founded the National Health Service? A. Winston Churchill. B. Clement Attlee. C. Aneurin Bevan. D. Margaret Thatcher. Answer: C. Aneurin Bevan. Aneurin Bevan, the then Minister of Health, is credited with founding the National Health Service in 1948, which provided health services free at the point of use for all UK citizens. Question 27. Name the agreement that resolved the border dispute between Scotland and England in the 12th century. A. The Treaty of York. B. The Treaty of Edinburgh. C. The Treaty of Windsor. D. The Treaty of Union. Answer: A. The Treaty of York. The Treaty of York in 1237 resolved the border dispute between Scotland and England by defining the border in roughly its present form. Question 28. Which law transitioned Hong Kong from British to Chinese rule? A. The Sino-British Joint Declaration. B. The Hong Kong Act 1985. C. The Patton Commission. D. The Beijing Agreement. Answer: A. The Sino-British Joint Declaration. The Sino-British Joint Declaration, signed in 1984, was the treaty that agreed to return Hong Kong to Chinese rule in 1997 under the principle of one country, two systems. Question 29. What is the function of the Welsh Assembly? A. To oversee foreign affairs in Wales. B. To legislate on devolved matters in Wales. C. To manage the UK's defence from Cardiff. D. To handle the UK's immigration policies. Answer: B. To legislate on devolved matters in Wales. The Welsh Assembly, known as the Senedd, has the power to legislate on devolved matters such as health, education, and local government in Wales. Question 30. Name the first woman to be elected as the Speaker of the House of Commons. A. Margaret Thatcher. B. Betty Boothroyd. C. Theresa May. D. Harriet Harman. Answer: B. Betty Boothroyd. Betty Boothroyd was the first woman to be elected as the Speaker of the House of Commons, serving from 1992 to 2000. Question 31. What major legal reform did Lord Chancellor Thomas More advocate for? A. The establishment of the Church of England. B. The codification of English law. C. The reform of the education system. D. The abolition of serfdom. Answer: B. The codification of English law. Lord Chancellor Thomas More, serving under King Henry VIII, was a strong advocate for the codification of English law. Question 32. What is the doctrine of parliamentary sovereignty? A. The King or Queen has absolute power. B. The judiciary can overrule parliamentary legislation. C. Parliament can make or repeal any law. D. The Church has the ultimate authority. Answer: C. Parliament can make or repeal any law. The doctrine of parliamentary sovereignty means that Parliament has the supreme legal authority and can create or end any law. Question 33. Who was responsible for the establishment of the Church of England? A. Queen Elizabeth I. B. King Henry VIII. C. King James I. D. King Edward VI. Answer: B. King Henry VIII. King Henry VIII was responsible for the establishment of the Church of England in 1534 after his split from the Catholic Church. Question 34. What year did the Bank of England get nationalised? A. 1946. B. 1964. C. 1914. D. 1844. Answer: A. 1946. The Bank of England was nationalised in 1946, bringing it under the control of the British government. Question 35. Which British Prime Minister implemented the Wind of Change speech? A. Harold Macmillan. B. Winston Churchill. C. Tony Blair. D. Margaret Thatcher. Answer: A. Harold Macmillan. Prime Minister Harold Macmillan delivered the Wind of Change speech in 1960, signalling a recognition of and support for decolonisation movements in Africa. Question 36. What was the purpose of the Corn Laws in the 19th century? A. To increase trade tariffs. B. To restrict the import of cheap grain. C. To promote agriculture in the colonies. D. To establish food safety standards. Answer: B. To restrict the import of cheap grain. The Corn Laws were introduced to restrict the import of cheap grain into Britain, protecting domestic producers but leading to high food prices and discontent. Question 37. Who was the first Prime Minister of Great Britain? A. Sir Robert Walpole. B. William Pitt the Younger. C. Benjamin Disraeli. D. Charles James Fox. Answer: A. Sir Robert Walpole. Sir Robert Walpole is generally regarded as the first Prime Minister of Great Britain, serving from 1721 to 1742. Question 38. What event marked the end of Roman rule in Britain? A. The signing of the Magna Carta. B. The Battle of Hastings. C. The sack of Rome. D. The withdrawal of Roman legions. Answer: D. The withdrawal of Roman legions. The end of Roman rule in Britain was marked by the withdrawal of Roman legions around AD 410, leading to the collapse of Roman control. Question 39. Describe the main cause of the English Reformation. A. Economic disputes between the nobility and clergy. B. Political disagreements with the Pope. C. King Henry VIII's desire for a male heir. D. Invasion threats from continental Europe. Answer: C. King Henry VIII's desire for a male heir. The main cause of the English Reformation was King Henry VIII's desire for a male heir, which led to his break with the Catholic Church after the Pope refused to annul his marriage. Question 40. What treaty ended the First World War for Britain? A. The Treaty of Versailles. B. The Treaty of Paris. C. The Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. D. The Treaty of Westminster. Answer: A. The Treaty of Versailles. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, officially ended World War I for Britain and its allies, imposing penalties and territorial changes on Germany. Question 41. What is the purpose of the Bill of Rights 1689? A. To declare war on France. B. To establish the rights of individuals. C. To define the powers and limits of the monarchy and rights of Parliament. D. To outline the duties of the Church of England. Answer: C. To define the powers and limits of the monarchy and rights of Parliament. The Bill of Rights 1689 is a landmark act in the constitutional law of England that sets out certain basic civil rights and clarifies who would be next to inherit the crown. Question 42. Which Prime Minister is associated with the introduction of the welfare state? A. Neville Chamberlain. B. Winston Churchill. C. Clement Attlee. D. Margaret Thatcher. Answer: T. Clement Attlee. Clement Attlee, who was Prime Minister from 1945 to 1951, is credited with laying the foundations of the modern welfare state in the UK. Question 43. Who is known for giving the speech, We shall fight on the beaches. A. Neville Chamberlain. B. Winston Churchill. C. Clement Attlee. D. Tony Blair. Answer: B. Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill delivered the famous speech, "We shall fight on the beaches," in 1940, rallying the British people during World War II. Question 44. Name the act that officially acknowledged the dissolution of the monasteries. A. The Dissolution Act of 1536. B. The Monasteries Act of 1539. C. The Act of Supremacy 1534. D. The Heresy Acts 1554. Answer: A. The Dissolution Act of 1536. The Dissolution Act of 1536, formerly the Act for the Dissolution of the Lesser Monasteries, was the legislation that enabled Henry VIII to dissolve monasteries in England, Wales, and Ireland. Question 45. What are the main functions of the House of Lords? A. To draft legislation. B. To review, amend, and delay legislation. C. To enforce laws. D. To elect the Prime Minister. Answer: B. To review, amend, and delay legislation. The primary functions of the House of Lords include reviewing, amending, and delaying legislation passed by the House of Commons. Question 46. What was Operation Sea Lion? A. The code name for the Battle of Britain. B. The German plan for an invasion of the UK during World War II. C. A British naval operation in the Atlantic. D. A joint military exercise between the UK and the US. Answer: B. The German plan for an invasion of the UK during World War II. Operation Sea Lion was the German plan for an invasion of the UK during World War II, which was never carried out. Question 47. Who led the British forces at the Battle of El Alamein? A. Bernard Montgomery. B. Winston Churchill. C. Douglas Haig. D. Arthur Wellesley. Answer: A. Bernard Montgomery. General Bernard Montgomery led the British forces to a significant victory at the Battle of El Alamein during World War II. Question 48. Name the treaty that established the Union of England and Scotland. A. The Treaty of Edinburgh. B. The Treaty of Union. C. The Treaty of York. D. The Treaty of Glasgow. Answer: B. The Treaty of Union. The Treaty of Union was agreed upon in 1706 and enacted in 1707, officially uniting England and Scotland into a single kingdom called Great Britain. Question 49. What was the Beveridge Plan, and how did it impact British society? A. A military strategy during World War II. B. A report proposing reforms in trade laws. C. A plan outlining the foundation for the modern welfare state. D. A guideline for post-war economic recovery. Answer: C. A plan outlining the foundation for the modern welfare state. The Beveridge Plan, officially known as the Beveridge Report, was published in 1942 and proposed comprehensive reforms to address social welfare issues, leading to the establishment of the welfare state. Question 50. Which monarch established the British East India Company? A. Queen Elizabeth I. B. King James I. C. King Charles II. D. Queen Victoria. Answer: A. Queen Elizabeth I. Queen Elizabeth I granted the charter to the British East India Company in 1600, allowing it to trade in the East Indies. Question 51. Name the British general who played a significant role in the Battle of Normandy. A. Bernard Montgomery. B. Arthur Wellesley. C. John Churchill. D. Douglas Haig. Answer A. Bernard Montgomery. General Bernard Montgomery played a key role in the planning and execution of the Battle of Normandy during World War II. Question 52. What does the Fixed-Term Parliaments Act entail? A. It limits the term of the Prime Minister to 4 years. B. It requires general elections to be held every 5 years. C. It allows for unlimited parliamentary terms. D. It sets the terms of Lords to 10 years. Answer B. It requires general elections to be held every 5 years. The Fixed-Term Parliaments Act, passed in 2011, establishes that general elections in the UK are to be held every 5 years on a set date. Question 53. Who was the last governor of Hong Kong, and what significant event is he associated with? A. Chris Patten, the handover of Hong Kong to China in 1997. B. David Wilson, the signing of the Sino-British Joint Declaration. C. Murray McIlwhose, the introduction of the One Country, Two Systems policy. D. Edward Yode, the negotiations for Hong Kong's future governance. Answer A. Chris Patten, the handover of Hong Kong to China in 1997. Chris Patten was the last governor of Hong Kong and is associated with overseeing the handover of Hong Kong from the UK to China in 1997. Question 54. What significant legal principle was established by the Entic v. Carrington case? A. The right to bear arms. B. The legality of the suspension of Parliament. C. The authority of the monarchy to impose taxes. D. The protection against arbitrary search and seizure. Answer D. The protection against arbitrary search and seizure. The Entic v. Carrington case in 1765 established the important legal principle in common law that individuals are protected from arbitrary search and seizure, influencing legal systems in the UK and beyond. Question 55. Who was the first British monarch of the House of Tudor? A. Henry VII. B. Henry VIII. C. Elizabeth I. D. Mary I. Answer A. Henry VII. Henry VII was the first monarch of the House of Tudor, reigning from 1485 after his victory at the Battle of Bosworth Field, which ended the Wars of the Roses.